Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Spotlight, which is brought to you by the NAACP Georgetown branch number 5520, where we are here to educate, motivate, and activate. I have Marvin Neal here, third vice president of the NAACP for the state conference, as well as Sheldon Butts. And you serve in a number of different roles, but happy Veterans Day to both of you and everyone that's out there. Happy Veterans Day.
Sheldon, Ebony Sheldon is the political action for the state conference NAACP also.
All right. Sheldon, is he frozen? Okay, I think we might have lost.
I can't come on mute.
Political action.
I hear.
But
there it is.
Today's a special day. It's not only Veterans Day, it's really symbolic for a whole lot of things. I can count so many things personally that seems to be happening on 11/11. It's going to be, it's been a good day. It's been a great day. And to all who served, hopefully you have had a restful day. And for those who have also passed on, I just want to ask just the two of you, can you share what branches that you were in?
I was in the first branch, United States Army and stuff that brought along the other branches, but we all served, even the Air Force, Navy, and Marines and Coast Guards, even those that's uniform forces and stuff, uniform first responders and stuff of that nature, police and stuff of that nature. But we all served and stuff. So I was in the United States Army, though. I was Chief Warrant Officer, as you can see on my big chest that's swollen right now, and I put my shirt on and stuff. Because we were the best that the Army had to offer, in the combat zone or any special assignments, any of that nature and stuff. So that's my story, Ebony. But we all served, and I compliment Sheldon and stuff because we work hand in hand, side by side. So happy Veterans Day, and and Sheldon gonna tell his story and stuff and what he thinks about it.
So Sheldon, what branch were you in? Mr. Neal seems to be showing his pride for his branch. It looks like we might have lost Sheldon, but I think he will be back momentarily.
I'm still flexing the Army, so let me finish flex while he show back up.
Also, I think we have Sheldon back. Sheldon, your branch? It sounds like he might not be connected to the audio, but I want to give a special shout out. I have to do it to my daughter and her husband for serving the country. They are both in the Army, and I am so proud of them. So proud of them. So, Mr. Neal, how did you spend your day?
Well, we spent that day, we were riding to the different places, celebrating. We stopped by Dunkin's Donut, Krispy Kreme, Olive Garden, but the most special place we stopped by, I think it was special, was Donnie's Grill in Bucksport. This guy's doing an awesome job down there. He's a young man that I knew all my life, and just to see how he has transformed that place, such a nice restaurant and stuff, and place to go, and just feel so homey there, so inviting. And I know Donnie all his life, like brothers and stuff, so great guy. That's all I spent my day. We came back home. We just chilling out now, doing some things that we wanted to do yesterday, but didn't get a chance to because of other things, elections and stuff like that was going on, and certifications and dealing with grandchildren in Columbia and parades in Columbia, Veterans Day parade after school, and following that, we went bowling with my grandbaby yesterday and stuff. My grandson, he scored 5 strikes, 5 years old. He was so happy and proud, man. One of the twins. So
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Sheldon, are you able to hear?
I can hear you all. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, disconnected, now reconnected. Hope you can hear me too.
You can hear you well.
Great.
So Sheldon, your branch?
My apologies. I got dropped off on that end. My branch is United States Army Military Police Corps. I left the Army as a captain, was a company commander, was a battalion operation officer responsible for 240 soldiers, women, men, young and old alike. So great day. Every day was a great day to be in the United States Army. I don't have one negative time and experience that I have with the uniform on.
Very good, very good. And also another special shout out. It's so many people that I could give a shout out to, from family members, friends, but I would be remiss if I didn't say Happy Veterans Day to the president of this branch, Deontay Winchester, also, which right now he's on the road. So thank you all for your service. Also, then moving on to the next, is there anything else that you all would like to say about Veterans Day, or for those who served, before we move on?
I would like to say, Ebony, Veterans Day is a day that you never get enough of thanking veterans, for the service that they've provided for the country. Because I can remember serving overseas in different places like Korea and on the DMZ and areas like that, and Egypt and places of that nature, and just could not wait to get back home to appreciate what democracy means in a country that's supposed to be free. But we went to other countries fighting for that same freedom. And still we are challenged here in our own country today, but it's the things that we fight for, and the NAACP speaks well to that challenge also. But the thing is, we have a right to fight here, with resistance, but it's more freer here to fight than in other countries, but you're received in other countries just as well as you're received here. One time that was not the case. I remember when Vietnam vets and those came back from the war and they were spit on. But all of that have changed now as time have changed, and people see what happens in other countries when there's not a strong armed force supporting them. I always tell people I'd rather go there than for them to come here, and freedom is not free, and everyone deserves a shout out, from the privates to, I started off as a private in the military and I just worked my way up and stuff, just from work. But it's what we do, and everyone has an opportunity there, in the military to achieve success if they choose to,
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We thank you very much for your service. Everyone that's out.
And I still like to say too, that the United States government, the United States owe veterans so much. And there's a blank check out there that they haven't written and haven't cashed yet. So we have a lot of veterans that are really, really distraught. You may see them on the outside and they look very happy, but they have some dark scars inside that they live with every day. And some of them don't live with it and end up commit suicide. It's on average that 22 soldiers every minute commit suicide in the United States. And that's dealing with the struggles, the pains of war, the struggle and pain of being thrust in the forefront for this country and for the world. So I just want one of the things I would hope that the United States government does not forget as we go into other conflicts is that we've got to be able to take care of people and their family, take care of them when the soldier comes back home.
I agree 100%. And that's why I really I would like to segue into another topic, and we can still always jump back into the veteran topic. Right now, there's actually two different enrollments going on. There's Medicare AEP, and there's also ACA or healthcare AEP going on basically right now simultaneously. If you have Medicare and you are a veteran, there are special plans that help you with your health care, and especially there's a special emphasis on mental health treatment, where you can get mental health treatment in multiple ways. I know that sometimes it's hard, and maybe possibly because of the stigma and embarrassment, to go seek help. But with these plans, you're able to see a therapist either in person. You can do group therapy as well as virtual visits. That means that you, in the privacy of where you are, can get help on the phone if it's hard for you to reach out. So AAIG has a Medicare enrollment line. You can call to make an appointment over the phone or in person, whatever suits you best. That we can help get you plans, and they're all at zero cost for the veterans. So nothing comes out of the pocket, and that's really important. Go ahead, Sheldon.
Yeah. Just about to echo that, Ebony. I saw the other day, I think it was last week, the Veterans Administration came aboard right when open season started and said that they're recommending that veterans who are still not getting the help that they need and receiving from the Veteran Administration, that they apply for and enroll in the open area of Medicare, Medicaid. So just like you said, if you're not getting the help that you need from the veterans, because it's a timely situation, the Veteran Administration is highly recommending that you apply for Medicaid until such time as your veterans benefits, et cetera, kick in.
But Ebony, it's critical that you said that, because it's even more important that you have an office right in Georgetown that could reach out to the needs of veterans and everybody else, because a lot of times you don't have that hands-on person that you could actually walk through a door and talk to without feeling as though there's a scam going on. Because so many people get scammed, especially during enrollment season. People are calling in, telling them to give their social security number and all this other stuff. And next thing you know, they have lost not only their benefits, but their savings account and everything else is cleaned out. So it's critical that people pay attention to what's going around them, because it's a service. It's a service, and it's a critical service that is servitude that identify when you have a place in Georgetown that we can reach out. Everybody is not blessed like that. Every county and community is not blessed like that. So I just want to say thank you for the service of Seven Dimensions and AAIG in Georgetown that you have given to the community, because sometimes I don't think we understand it. And could you tell us how your business is going with enrollment right now, and the impact and what you see with Medicare and stuff of that nature?
Thank you, Mr. Neal, for saying that. I've been doing Medicare for almost 15 years now. Medicare is a scary beast because in many cases it's hard to understand. And so when you have these commercials on TV and people calling, you just don't know what to do or really who to believe, but just know that you can call in or stop by the office right at 1530 High Market Street. If you know where Goodwill and Curry's Cleaner Store, we're located right in the old medical building, that you can come in Monday through Friday and get not just insurance, but get safe questions with safe people that you can trust. We're all certified with HIPAA. Whatever you come and talk with us about, it stays. Nobody else hears about it, but we're right there. And AAIG is the insurance agency. We help people with Medicare enrollment. And now keep in mind, we also help with healthcare, ACA and through private insurance. If you're not old enough or don't have a disability, we do have a hotline that's also open just for the ACA and private healthcare. But regardless, if you call this number here below, we can transfer you to the ACA line. And the good part about the ACA health hotline is that we service the whole entire United States. So no matter what state you're in, you can call that number and get assistance with either myself or one of my partners that work with me. But again, we're all and then the last thing I'd like to say is that also I'm a director for Seven Dimensions, and Seven Dimensions is a nonprofit organization. And we're really excited because we've just been awarded a grant through the USDA, from the USDA through South Carolina Thrive, SC Thrive. And what that allows us to do as a organization, a nonprofit organization, is help people apply for social service assistance all in one place, so that you're not having to bounce over to DSS. And then some people, you have to bounce over to Social Security, or either you may have to go to this agency or that agency. We're able to do all of that, including help find resources, things such as food boxes, doing Medicaid. We just got some good news today that we don't have the dates yet, but we'll be at Walmart in Georgetown also with counselors that can help you apply for SNAP benefits. There's so many resources out there. I mean, billions of dollars that go unallocated, not unallocated, but people just don't apply for them because they think, oh, I make too much money. And sometimes that's not the case. It will help you complete those applications compliantly. But then sometimes some people, if they feel like the income is too much, we can show you how to spend down so that you can count all the bills that you have, so that you can really see what you have left as what they're actually wanting to know. Did that make any sense when I talked about spend down? You look.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it makes plenty of sense, but I know I've heard from more than one avenue that individuals are denied SNAP benefits, not for what you have left in your account, but the threshold. So if you meet the threshold, they don't even care what's underneath that. If you're making 1 penny over that threshold, it's a no. So I understand what you're saying, and that would be a good thing if there's such thing as a spend down, where one could see that at the end of the month or the 5th of the month, all I have is $5 left from my account. I don't have anything for food for my children and myself. But again, from my workings with it is that the threshold, once you meet it, it's bye-bye out the door.
Right. Sometimes that's not the case, just depending on the situation. But we can definitely help. Our counselors can definitely look at what's going on. And so just keep in mind also that there are 2 different type of SNAP. There's regular SNAP and then there's senior SNAP. And with senior SNAP, it's a whole nother allocation for those who are 65 years and older. Your income guideline, income limits can be higher actually in that case. And so especially for the seniors that are on fixed income, a lot of people qualify and don't realize it. Matter of fact, funny thing, I was speaking with a lady today, and she had Medicaid the whole time and didn't even know it. She thought that they had denied her. And that happens as well. Another thing to keep in mind is for those who are already receiving Medicaid, they are doing recertifications starting this year. I think this month, at least 150,000 cases were closed for people that did not turn in their recertification paperwork, that got knocked out of Medicaid. So if you're one of those individuals that didn't certify in time enough, stop by our office, call those numbers so that we can help you reapply and get those services back.
But tell me, if you are, say you are a soldier and you're not 100% disabled, even if you're 100% disabled, and are you qualified for SNAPs and all the other benefits? Because sometimes it don't meet the demands of a lot of soldiers, because some of them, they can't work. They're trying to get their disabilities, yet still they're not at a percentage where it's comfortable for them to really live a life that's the normal person that lives and stuff within the means of the economy and stuff where they live. So can soldiers walk through that door and say, hey, I need help with SNAPs and all the other stuff because of my disability?
Absolutely. The answer to that is yes, yes, and yes. And one good thing about our partnership is that we have something called a screening tool that we use. So if an individual sits down with us and we can ask them just a few questions, and it will tell us all of the programs out there that they may qualify for that we do right in our office. So whether that's SNAP, whether that's Medicaid, even down to voters registration, if they need that, whatever it is, we can help them apply all in one form and get those things sent in electronically to DSS, or excuse me, to the prospective agency that we're trying to reach out to.
Wow.
So yes, we encourage the veterans, please come on in. This is what I tell you, don't try to try to figure out whether you qualify or not. Allow us to help you do that. Some people think automatically I don't qualify because of my income, but this is one thing I do know. If you don't qualify, if you don't apply, you're definitely not going to get it. So if you try, all they can say is yes or no, and we will help you with the proper documentation if needed. Because with the SNAP applications, that's really a phone interview, and sometimes nothing is required.
So what number do you call? Is the number that's on the screen?
Yes, sir. Please call this number right here. Even though we have Medicare enrollment line, if you call that number, we are going to direct the call to the right person that it needs to go to get assistance. So they're counselors with both at the you can call this number right here and we'll make sure that you get to where you need.
Hey, that's great. You know, what about those with that's retirement disabled from a job or something of that nature? Are they qualified for SNAPs even if they're not military?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's wide open now. It could be a situation where, you know, if you're disabled, you could be pregnant. It could be a situation where this is happening where grandparents are watching grandchildren, parents with the children, college students can all apply.
Wow.
That one was I'm pretty sure if I knew that while I was in college, we wouldn't have been eating ramen noodles and crackers and stuff late in the middle of the night. But I do like the fact that college students are eligible for that aspect, because the cafeteria does not give, it gives you a supplement. That's what it is, supplement. And I can tell you by midnight, sometimes you're ready for breakfast to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, but there is no breakfast coming. So I'm glad that college active full enrollment college students could actually apply for and be qualified for SNAP.
Exactly. And this is another thing that I tell individuals, please apply, because, and don't worry about how much they give you initially. You know, I can speak, generally we don't talk about other clients, but I always joke about my grandmother. I told her to apply. And when she got her card, it had $16 on it. And she says, what am I going to do with $16? I said, Grandma, go get you a pack of neck balm. You know, I mean, whatever it can get you, go ahead and get it. But the reason why I also say that is once you have a card, if there's an emergency that comes up, they will automatically add emergency funds to the card. You know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So with that being said, it just so happened we applied right before the pandemic. She was getting $16, but when all of this emergency money came in, my grandmother tried to swipe the card, hoping that she had enough money. And she asked the cashier, said, do I have enough money? He said, oh yeah, you have a lot of money, not realizing $1,200 was on the card.
Wow.
So just go ahead and do it. If there's a hurricane or anything like that comes through, and this area is very prone for natural disasters, they will automatically apply that money to it. And in addition to that, if you are a parent with children, applied for it because they have also had released some money a few months ago for PEBT for those students that get free and reduced lunch, to get some money to get nutrition that's subsidized throughout the summer whenever children don't go to school. So we all have to also think about those things. When students are not in school, they still need to eat. And you have a large percentage of students that when they go to school, that is the only time that they are getting a nutritious meal, breakfast and lunch. On the weekends or on some type of extended break or during the summer, they are not getting that nutrition.
You know, that is huge, Ebony, because I understand also there's a $200 amount that a lot of people don't apply for that's available under Medicare at a certain income level to pay for electrical bills and stuff of that nature.
I'm glad you brought that up. Again, now this one has everything to do with Medicare. Keep in mind, SNAP is one thing. Everyone's open to apply for that, including your veterans and everyone that we just listed. But with Medicare, there are plans that we have for people that have Medicaid, or for those who even have some type of chronic health condition like diabetes or heart failure. In South Carolina, that is a biggie. A huge percentage of individuals have some type of heart issue or diabetes, and through the Medicare plans will allow certain amounts of money every single month for food and supplies. And for some individuals, they give as much as $200 and some odd every single month to help with utility bills, food, and supplies, which is a big deal, especially with utility rates going up and going to continue to go up here in Georgetown. There are a number of different vendors that outside of our organization that will provide emergency utility assistance, but you can only reach out for help 1 or 2 times a year. But with these Medicare plans, they give that money every single month without fail. So it's important that if it's not for you, call for somebody else to inquire, to help them get up enough nerve or whatever to come in and make that appointment so that they can get this assistance. And once again, call or come by the office to make an appointment, because we will do a screening and we can see not just what you thought you could get, we can see everything that you could possibly be eligible for. Go ahead, Sheldon.
Oh, no, just for general purposes, so people can understand, what is ACA, commonly known as?
Obamacare. Thank you for bringing that up. Look like we might have lost Sheldon again.
Yeah, some people don't associate that with Obamacare, so they hate ACA and think like, well, that's nothing for me, but that's Obamacare.
That's exactly right. That is Obamacare. So during this time of the year, during open enrollment, they'll look at your income. ACA is a little bit of a tricky beast as well, because people think that because their income may be low, that their insurance would be lower because of their income. It's almost the opposite. With the ACA or Obamacare, they incentivize you for working. So when you work, you're actually able to build up credits to help pay for your health insurance. So let's say your premium for health insurance might be $200 a month or $300 a month. Just by you working or having an income can count toward your tax credits to reduce the cost of the amount that you pay for your health insurance. And I'm gonna back up just a little bit to give you some history, which is why it's so important that we know who we're voting for, and not just who we're voting for. We know what we're voting for whenever we go to the polls. how the ACA is supposed to work, and of course, this started. ACA was signed into I forget what year, but by former President Obama. And what was supposed to happen is that every state was supposed to expand their Medicaid so that if a person didn't make enough money, they get Medicaid almost automatically. Again, you'd have to apply for it. But then others who made a certain amount would just end up with the ACA insurance. But in South Carolina, whenever Nikki Haley was the governor, she chose not to expand Medicaid, and nor has the current governor expanded Medicaid. And so what that means is that in our state, there's a huge gap to where some people are going to fall in the hole where they don't qualify for Medicaid, and then they don't qualify for ACA to get any assistance through there. So it has caused a really big ruckus. I do know the NAACP has partnered with a new state organization called CLOVE. You'll hear more about it. It's about to be released, but it's a grassroots organization that's designed to understand the dynamics and laws that center around food security as well as healthcare. Those two things are important. We have to address the needs in our state with healthcare, education, and food. Those three things are vital to have a healthy, thriving community.
What I'm saying, Ebony, those are the three things that we need to focus in on even more: food, healthcare, and education. And if you notice in this climate that we are in, those are the three things that's targeted. Also, that should not be. Because our challenge is we really need to get out and fight for those things, and that's where we coming at the NAACP. And a lot of times, we don't have to, but just your presence in the place at school board meetings, in the county council, city council meetings, those places of that nature that really makes those changes, legislative sessions, Senate and the House, especially at the state level and the local level. Just think about it. At the end of the day, everything stops and starts with voting.
Right.
And if we could control voting rights and restrict people from voting, then we control every other avenue of their life. So, and we give that control away when we don't vote. We give people control of us when we don't vote. So that's why it's so critical that we vote, because those things, all that comes from voting and voting rights. Every level of freedom and moving forward in life to have a healthy lifestyle is controlled by voting. And people still said their vote don't count. Now, I don't want to get into voting right now, but I just want to tap onto that because it's a season that's coming up that's critical. You notice in other states right now, the last 3 states that had election for mayor and governor, the target was abortion rights for women. All that's healthcare. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And every one of them won because people got up and voted because they wanted their rights back. Women wanted their rights back. Men want women to have their rights. Because you all are not taking our rights away. It's men that's taking women's rights away. And it's scary to think about. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot of black men either. I can say that. There's just a few sitting in those seats. So we really need to focus on that as we're coming into this election year. And don't wait until the election to fight for it. Every day is a fight for women's rights, healthcare, education, and food. All that's a part of our daily lives.
Yep. It's all connected. I wish Marilyn was here because then she would bring in environment. but all of it's connected. Whenever if you have anything that you wanted to share, let's say with city or county council about things that we can maybe work on, you can't talk about one thing and really not talk about the other. Now, I realize you can't attack every problem all at one time, but you definitely have to keep all of these other things in mind as you make these decisions moving forward, because it is a balancing act, because they all are connected. It's like a link, a chain link. I mean, because they are connected, if you pull on one link, it's going to automatically have an effect on the other end. So it's important to do that. I do appreciate being able to talk about that today, Mr. Neal and Sheldon, as I have to step off the show.
Okay, we all gonna step off with you because I know we need to get off here because we could be here all night talking about it. But the show is very it's substance. That's critical. Yes.
Yeah, before we go off, just want to remind everybody that knows somebody, because all of us know somebody who is a veteran or related to a veteran. Just ensure that he or she is getting the help that they need. And sometimes you may not know what that looks like to even know what a person is going through on a day-to-day basis for that look you need to have. But if you see people starting to withdraw when they're not that type of individual, and you see them in quiet spaces when they're not in quiet spaces, when you see them sleeping longer and throughout the day when everything else is going on, when you're missing work or late for work, these all are telltale signs that there is some emotional scars that are inside that this individual does not know how to regulate and deal with, and that you may need to course he or she into the direction of going to the VA and actually being assessed with depression and the bipolar disorder and the PTSD and the anxiety, because they all run right into each other. There was nothing I didn't think I could do when I had my uniform on. I could move mountains when I had the uniform on. When I got out of the military and I had nothing but time on my hand and time to think about things, a lot of hurt started to come about. Is when we leave the military and take off that uniform and we're no longer Superwoman every day, no longer Superman every day, is when the problems start to arise. But understand that you're not too late to ever get that help that you needed. You don't have to be strong for nobody else but yourself now. And that's what I would like to lead to everybody who is a veteran or know of someone that is a veteran.
I would like to in saying that the NAACP is here for veterans also. And we have a Veterans Affairs Committee within the NAACP, from the local to the national level. You know, the PAC Act and the Camp Lejeune water crisis and all that stuff. The NAACP is totally on the front of the battlefield, fighting for veterans. And we have a Veterans Affairs unit within the NAACP, from local to national, even Georgetown. So reach out to us, veterans, if you can't find nobody else. The Low Country Veterans does an awesome job, but everything is too big for one organization. You know, you have Veterans Affairs in Georgetown, you have Veterans Affairs everywhere. And you don't have to be a citizen of a certain area to go to a Veterans Affairs office. You go to any Veterans Affairs office and get help, wherever you are. It has nothing to do with your location or anything of that nature. If you're not comfortable with one, go to the next. But the thing is, reach out. And the NAACP is always available for people to reach out to. And that's why we always need pushing for membership and solid people to take on committees that's really willing to support the efforts of those in need, those that's disenfranchised and those that's underserved. If you're not getting what you need, you are considered underserved. And always remember that. I don't care how much money you got. Sometimes the service that you need, money can't buy.
Facts. We thank you all for a great spotlight. We thank you for those who are joining, who have joined us throughout this recording, as well as those who are going to see it after the fact. Please put a comment, post about any services that maybe you know about that can help veterans. There are so many resources out there, and I'm glad you mentioned Low Country Veterans. Shout out to Commander Rutledge and all of the men and women that help over at Low Country. They really are an awesome group.
And they do everything, Ebony, from food banks to, you go to Arnett Church certain times in the month, you get food bank. Go on the Low Country Veterans website. And any opportunity to donate to those guys, I advise every veteran in Georgetown to join the Low Country Veterans. It's penny compared to the services that they give back to the community, not just veterans. They also find housing for displaced veterans. They have found some already. They have transition homes for veterans. Please go to that website or reach out to the Commander Rutledge, or go into the Low Country Veteran website or reach out to a Low Country Veteran. I'm a member, and I joined just to support, because I know my time is not always there, but I joined to make sure my finance is there to support the Low Country Veterans. And that is critical, because we have too many veterans. And there's also been a clinic approved for Georgetown. A health medical clinic for Georgetown has been approved. And that's on the way now. So I don't have the details of it, but I know it was approved. So
that's wonderful news. That's wonderful news. And as we sign off, you all, talking about healthcare for veterans, that's so important. Remember that COVID season, just like flu season, is amongst us. Please get your flu shot. I believe the new shots for this season are available. Many times, if you go by the health department, you can get them at no cost. Once again, you can also get them on your Medicare plans, as well as your ACA, Obamacare, and private health insurances as well at no cost. Just remember, people are still dying from COVID. And something to also keep remembering is that we don't talk about the symptoms that some people get from having COVID that can affect them, not just physically, but COVID can affect people mentally as well. So keep that in mind.
Great show, Ebony, and thanks.
All right.
COVID is alive. I had it 3 weeks ago. So trust me, it's alive and well out there.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next Saturday on Spotlight, which is brought to you by the Georgetown branch NAACP, where we are here to educate, motivate, and activate. Have a good weekend.